I'm so excited to write this scene. Oh my god. I feel like half of my writing process is just me staring at the page in my mind, going through all the different line possibilities in my head until I finalize on one and then write it down. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. So today I have a writing vlog and a writing update for you guys. So if you are new here, hello, my name is Carolyn. I am a freelance illustrator and I am also an author, an aspiring author. I am working on my first novel, and that's what this whole video is going to be about, my process, where I'm at, how I'm feeling, what's been going on, just to let you guys know what I've been doing, because this has been pretty much like my whole life, my whole headspace for the past few months, and I am extremely excited about it. So if you are new here, I've always wanted to be a children's writer and illustrator ever since I was a kid, and I want my book to be able to be read by all ages, but the target audience really is middle grade, so from 8 to 12 or 13, but really I'm having a hard time with the whole age range thing because I want it to be a book that all ages can read. I love sad stories. I love when stories can really rip my heart out, but in the best way possible, because I just feel like they're so real and they can get at that really deep emotion out of you. And so my book has some sad parts to it, but also some happy parts, some funny parts. I've been trying to capture all different emotions in my story because that's what I love when a story does that for me. And so I've been having a hard time with the age range thing because I am putting parts in there that are quite complex, like emotionally complex, but I think that I have read so many middle grade books that are emotionally complex and deep and deal with a lot of difficult topics in a really beautiful way, and that's what I'm just trying to do. So I really want this book to be able to be read by all different ages and all different kinds of people, and basically I want it to be like an anybody book. And I am also illustrating it as well. I've been working on some of the illustrations. I've mainly been prioritizing the writing portion for now because I want to have the manuscript written so that I can go through it and say, you know, that scene I really want to illustrate, or I want to put a drawing in here and figure out the formatting that way. So that's at least how I've been wanting to work. I've been doing so much research on how other authors and illustrators work, and I think that most authors and illustrators write the manuscript and then work on the illustrations. Just because then they have something to work off of, and because I am the author and illustrator, it's nice for me to be able to sort of decide how I want to go about the process. When you have an author and then an illustrator, usually the author writes the entire manuscript, gets it edited, and then they find an illustrator, and then the illustrator illustrates it separately. So of course the manuscript comes first and then the illustrations. But I am almost, what am I trying to do with my hands? I'm almost done with draft 1. I have about a quarter of the book left. I have my document opened in front of me right now, and let's see how many words I'm at. I am at 23,226 words, and that is the most that I have ever written. So I went to school. I went to college in New York City. I went to the Fashion Institute of Technology for illustration, and I got my minor in English and with a specialty in writing. And when I was taking all of my writing courses, because they were just for one semester, we didn't write full novels because we just didn't have enough time, but I wrote so many short stories, and so my whole life I have written short stories, but I've never written a full novel before. I've written children's books that I would love to work on, some picture books eventually, but right now I'm really focused on this illustrated novel. But I have never written a full novel before, and just the process has been a roller coaster. It has been so thrilling, so amazing. I've loved every single part of it, even the very difficult parts where I question my ability and I don't think I'm good enough and I think that it's going nowhere and will it ever get published. And right now I have it in my head that it's okay if it doesn't get published. I want to get it published so badly. Traditionally traditionally published. That's the goal. But right now, I just want to, one step at a time, focus on what is in front of me. So I have a personal deadline for myself, which is near the... Well, do I want to tell you? I think I might just keep it personal to myself because I don't want to add any pressure to myself. I have a personal deadline that is semi coming up, and I have about a quarter of the book left. I just recently wrote a chapter that I am extremely proud of. It might be one of my favorites that I've written so far. I am on chapter 25, and to be honest, I did a chapter breakdown. And I don't know exactly if I'm going to be sticking with the amount of chapters that I think I'm going to write. I also don't want to tell you guys too much just because this is such a thing that could change very easily. Like, so much of this is going to change. But yeah, so I just wrote chapter 25. I'm going to be writing chapter 26 today. And I'm just going to take you guys on this journey with me of a day of writing. This is what I have been doing. So I was posting twice a week on YouTube, 2 videos a week, but I really had to cut that down. So now I'm only doing 1 video a week just because I am focusing a lot more of my attention, a little less on YouTube and a little more on my writing, because this is what I want to do for my career full time. I always want to make videos and I love making videos, but it's not my main goal in life. I really want to be an author and an illustrator, and that's been my dream ever since I was little. So yes, I'm on chapter 25. I have a little more than 23,000 words written. I have about a quarter of the book left. I am really proud of it. I am in love with the characters. They mean the world to me. This story is just... I put like every aspect of my soul into this story, and which is wonderful and also terrifying. Okay, slight interruption. Willow just got groomed, so let's go see Willow's haircut, and then I will get back and talk to you guys a little bit more about maybe, I don't know exactly what I want to tell you about the story, but I will just keep talking about the process, how I've gotten here, and all of that stuff. Maybe some advice that I've found or would give to other, aspiring writers. Anyway, let's go see Willow's haircut. If you don't know who Willow is my dog, and she just got groomed. I'm very excited to see her, so let's go see her. Willow, come here. Come here. Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. Did you get groomed? Did you get groomed? Oh my goodness, you look so pretty. You smell so good. You smell so yummy. Okay. Your nails are so sharp. Your nails are so sharp. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes. Willow, here, look. Okay, go get it. You didn't get it. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Sit. Paw. Good girl. Okay, sit. Good girl. Can you lay down? Good girl. Oopsie. Sit. Last one. Anyway, back to business. So what was I saying? The process has been quite the roller coaster. I have been working on this story for about 2 years. I've been rewriting it in a bunch of different ways with a bunch of different characters. It's basically like the same message that I want to convey, but I've been trying to convey it in a bunch of different ways and none of them have really worked until now. And this book is really multiple ideas of mine that haven't worked individually, but they work even better when they're together. And something that I have been doing, one of my subscribers very, very kindly gifted me a 1-year subscription to Masterclass, which I am so grateful for, and I've been watching some of the Neil Gaiman Masterclasses, and his advice on writing is fantastic. So many people have done videos following his Masterclass on YouTube. If you're interested in that, I have watched so many of them. I can link some of my favorite writing process videos down below, or advice from authors, author discussions that I really love that I have found really inspiring for me. And the process has just been a lot because there are so many times where I felt like wouldn't go anywhere, and can I be a writer? Can I be, you know, an illustrator? Can I do this thing? Can I really write a novel? There's been a lot of self-doubt, but I think that that's kind of a, not that it's a good thing, I don't think you should doubt yourself, but I think having that is kind of important at the same time, because I just read the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, and one of the chapters that he wrote is about the fact that you're not special, and that really resonated with me, because I think that when you remind yourself that all of the artists and writers and people that you look up to, whether it's art or writing, all the people that you look up to are just ordinary people. It's hard to remind yourself that they aren't these like godly beings. It's really nice, even like for Neil Gaiman, learning about Neil Gaiman's process, because I love his book so much. I think he's one of the best writers of our day. And it's really nice to remind yourself that these are just ordinary people. So you are not special, they are not special, we're all not special. And I think that that's comforting. I mean, of course, yes, I like to believe that like I am special, all those people, we're all special in our own ways. And we are, it's true, we are all special in our own ways, but we're also not special in our own ways as well. And I think that that's just comforting. The duality of that is comforting. And that's what being human is all about, is just the duality of, can I do this? It's like, I have so much self-doubt, but on the flip side, I also have quite a good amount of confidence in myself that if I set my mind to it, and if I say I can do it, and I will do it. Like, nothing is going to stop me from doing this, not even myself. And I think that I am my greatest villain in this situation, because the only person that is making you write this book is yourself. Like right now, I don't have an agent, I don't have anyone telling me to write this book, I just have me telling me to write this book because it's what I want to do. It's my dream, and I want with all of my heart to make it come true. And I think that if you feel that way, where you are experiencing a lot of self-doubt, that's you talking. Sometimes it feels like it's not me, and well, it is you, but it's like that difficult part of you. It's funny, the other day I was thinking about the quote from Walt Whitman, "I am large, I contain multitudes," and I really love that quote because it's so true about like us humans. We experience a lot of different emotions in a very short span of time, and all in our bodies and our minds and in our hearts and everything. And one minute I can be really proud and excited about what I'm working on, and then the next minute I think it's not good enough, it's crap, why am I even doing this? And then I shut that part of myself off and I think, okay, I'm gonna keep working on it. So I think you need to be your best advocate in this stage. I'm not even done with draft 1 yet, and I know that a lot is going to change, and there's a lot of work that I still need to do, a lot of illustrating that I still need to do. There are about 5 billion grammar mistakes in this manuscript, and I know it, and there is such a big part of me that hates grammar mistakes, but I am just not even thinking about it at this stage because I just want to get the story written down. That's something that Neil Gaiman talks about in the masterclass, is don't worry about if it's perfect, just get it down on the paper. The way that I work is I start with draft 0. And draft 0 is basically I write stream of consciousness, random stuff that I eventually look back on so that I can get it out of my head. Because I think the most important thing when you have an idea and when you're trying to turn an idea into a story is when you get all of the ideas out of your head and onto a piece of paper, you have them written down so that you can have more room for other ideas, and you can have more room to look at those ideas and turn them into something tangible, something that you can work with. And that's what I've been trying to do. So then draft 0 is writing down nonsense, trying to get everything out of my brain and onto paper. And then draft 0.5, so draft 1/2 is I do a chapter breakdown where I basically write out in a very short paragraph what I want to happen in that chapter. And then draft 1 is when I write the actual whole chapter, and I don't worry about grammar mistakes, I don't worry about anything, it's just getting the dialogue, description, narrative, just the prose down in general. And then draft 2, once I finish draft 1, I'm going to go in and really make sure that there aren't any plot holes, figure out and tie in loose ends. What's so exciting is that I am writing certain things in the beginning without really thinking that they're going to come around again, and then they come around again, and it makes a connection that I wasn't expecting, and it makes the story even deeper, because I think, oh, I'll put this little scene in here without thinking anything of it, and then later on, that scene or that line or that piece of dialogue has so much more gravity and weight to it because I connect it later on in the story unintentionally. And that's, I think, the most exciting and thrilling part about the whole writing process, is when it almost feels like I have the idea and I'm writing it, but the story is sort of telling me itself. Does that make sense? Like, the story is telling me what needs to be written. Like, I am just the hands that are putting the words down on the paper, but the story is telling me what it wants to say. And that leads me to whether you are a pantser or a planner. So a pantser is you write and you work at the seat of your pants. So like, you just let the story happen and you don't plan, and you just write, not stream of consciousness, but you don't really like meticulously plan out how everything is going to go. And then planners obviously is that you plan out every step and you break down the story. I'm kind of in between. I'm definitely much more of a planner than I am a pantser, and this terminology I learned from one of my favorite podcasts, which is called Creative Pep Talk, and it is hosted by the wonderful author and illustrator Andy J. Pizza. His last name is not actually Pizza, but his last name is Andy J. Miller, but there are a lot of Andrew Millers, so he changed his last name to Pizza to be more unique, and I love that. He is amazing. If you are a creative person, whether it's writing, illustrating, or anything, I highly recommend Creative Pep Talk, because it has helped me so much on this journey of keeping me pepped up and excited, and just, it's really nice to have that encouragement, even though Andy does not know I exist and he's not actually there helping me, but it sort of feels like he is, because I just love listening to his podcast. Anyway, so he was talking about pantsers and planners, and I'm definitely much more of a planner, but I think that I also like to let the story take me where it wants to go. So if something changes in my plan unexpectedly, I'm not going to not listen to it. I am going to listen to the story and say, actually, let's go this way instead of what I planned, because I feel like that's when things can get really exciting, and it can lead you to places that you didn't expect. But also at the same time, I do definitely need a plan, because that's just how I work. Even in my regular life, like if anything happens in my life, I need a plan. I need to emotionally prepare. I need a list. I need like multiple lists. I need to know in advance. I am just very much a planner. But I also do like to have my pantsers moments where I can just kind of let the story happen. So because I work from home as a freelance author, illustrator, and content creator, something that I've been doing on rainier, cloudier days is I've been going to the library to write. But because it's really beautiful outside lately, I have been writing in my back garden. We have a deck in my backyard, which is like near our pool, and it's just a really nice atmosphere. Anyway, my whole point is that I'm going to be writing for a little while, and then at some point, probably between like 1 and 2 o'clock, 2 and 3 o'clock maybe, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to do a little workout at home, and then for about an hour, because it just makes my body feel good, makes my mind feel good. I think about what I wrote. It's just a nice break in my day. And then I'm going to do another little writing session, and then I'm going to probably cook dinner, maybe bring Willow for a walk. I like to break up my sessions just because if I do longer sessions of writing, I can get really bogged down. If you're trying to figure out a writing routine, it's taken a lot of trial and error and just figuring out what works best for you. Sometimes I set out a time super late at night, like when everything is quiet. I sit in my bed and I just write until like 1 or 2 in the morning. I haven't done that in a while just because I've been getting up earlier and I've been much more tired later on at night. But I also did get this keyboard for my iPad because I don't have a laptop. I just have my desktop computer and my iPad, and I usually write on my iPad when I'm outside. This also, I just cleaned it, but it had so much sunscreen on it because I've been writing outside in the sun. Also, the other day, I got a farmer's tan. I don't know if you can see it. I was wearing a short sleeve shirt and I got a tan when I didn't think that I would get a tan. So we're gonna try to correct this. That's why I'm wearing a halter top, because I don't want these straps. Anyway, so I'm going to sit outside and then I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to write some more and we'll just see how the day goes and I will update you guys. I feel like I have so much to say and so much to talk about, and not really like advice to give, but like advice that has helped me that I would love to impart on you or share. But right now, I really just want to get writing. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's go outside and start writing chapter 26, which I'm so excited to keep writing this certain scene because I'm really, really happy with it. So okay, everybody, I hope that you can hear me okay. I just got a decent amount of writing done, which I'm really happy with. This part of the story is quite difficult for the characters, and it's quite difficult for me to write because it's really emotional, as is, I feel like, the entire story, because that's what I love. I really like hard-hitting emotions and stories that really make you feel a lot. Now I think I'm going to take a little break and do my workout, and then after that oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this smoothie bowl that I've been making. I'm gonna make my smoothie bowl after my workout, and then I think I'm going to do a bit more writing. And right now I've kind of been doing a bit more like nonsense writing, and then I'm gonna go back and tweak it and fix it. But I just sort of want to get like some raw emotions and random lines down on the page, and then I can go back and fix them and make them a little bit neater. So that's been the process lately. Yeah, so let's go work out, make a smoothie, eat the smoothie, and then do some more writing. So far, so good with today's progress. Okay, my workout is done. I am out of breath, sweaty, and gross. And now it is time to make a smoothie and stay hydrated. So, yes. Okay, the lighting in our kitchen is quite terrible. So I'm standing in front of the window. You guys are on my kitchen table, but I have my little tripod. So anyway, I'm just slouched. So I have frozen blueberries, strawberries, and mangoes. And then I put my vegan protein powder, just 1 scoop of it. Because I'm vegan, I always like to make sure that I get enough protein, especially since I exercise frequently. And I put a little scoop of this in it, and then on top I just do this granola. It's pumpkin seed and flax granola. Excellent source of ALA omega-3s, which it's very delicious. So I put that on top. Anyway, let's make this smoothie. The blueberries make it turn this really pretty purple color, which I think is just so nice, and oh my god, it smells delicious. It really smells like ice cream, and I know that that sounds crazy, but it really does. Usually I pop it in the freezer so that it gets a little bit like thicker and cooler while I put everything away and clean everything up. So let's put this in the freezer, and then I'm gonna put granola on top, and then we're gonna go outside and eat it. I'm so excited. I also always like to eat the extra that gets stuck in the blade part. Oh my god, it's so good. This is like my favorite part of the day. Okay, back to work. So I just noticed that I have some orders that I need to wrap for my Etsy shop so that I can send them out to you guys. So I have all of my things here to wrap these orders, and Here they are. So I'm going to wrap these orders. It is currently 3:57. The post office closes at 5 o'clock, so I just have to drop these off in between 4 and 5 p.m. So I'm going to do that, and then depending on what I'm going to do for dinner, I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. We'll figure that out. And then I think after dinner I will have another writing session, or maybe before dinner. I'm not sure. Anyway, top priority is to just get these wrapped, and then we will see how things go. That's the good thing about kind of making your own schedule and seeing how things go is I do want to get these orders wrapped and shipped out as soon as possible so that you guys can get them as soon as possible. Also, I just want to say a huge thank you for everyone who ordered from my recent restock. You guys supporting my Etsy shop and my videos is why I can pursue being a freelance illustrator and writer, and why I can set aside the time to try and write this book. So I really couldn't write this book without you guys, and it just means the world to me, all of your support. So thank you so much. Just thinking that my artwork is out in the world with you means the world to me. So just thank you so much. Anyway, without babbling on, because I need to get these wrapped, I'm just going to work on this, and then I will check back in later. Hello lovely people, so I have a little update for you guys. I made dinner, and then we had dinner, and then I went for a walk with my mom, and we were going to take Willow, but she just got groomed, and I really didn't want her to get all dirty and smelly from walking, so I didn't take Willow for a walk. I feel kind of like a bad dog mom, but I just want to enjoy her being perfectly groomed for a little bit longer. Anyway, and then I have been back to work now. I realized that I was missing a chapter. I started writing chapter 26, realized it was 27, then went back and just now have been writing the beginning of chapter 26. So I have the beginning of chapter 26 and the first half of chapter 27 written, but not either of them finished. So that's where I'm at. It was funny because I think I added a chapter, but I didn't put it in my chapter breakdown, and I was referencing my chapter breakdown when I started writing what I thought was chapter 26, but really it's chapter 27. That's what I've been doing. I am very tired now. It is 9:30. Is it? It's 9:30? Oh my gosh, when did it become 9:30? Yeah, what else? I'm getting to that time in the evening where I'm just like, duh. But you know what's funny? Sometimes I do my best creative thinking when I'm really exhausted. I always think about that quote from Hemingway, write drunk and edit sober. I always think write tired and edit when awake. Because usually I do that a lot, where I'll write very late into the evening or morning, whichever way you want to look at it, and then I'll edit the next morning right when I wake up, because I feel like I have my, the right side of my brain is more like creative, and the ideas are going down on the page when I'm sleepy, and I'm not really thinking too much about the analytical side, and then I wake up and the left side of my brain, which is more analytical, will obviously go through it and tweak it and fix it a little bit. I think that's a really big thing. I was watching a video recently about using your right and left brain, or sides of the brain, when drawing, and it was this technique to try your hardest to listen solely to the right side, like the creative side of your brain, and to not get too bogged down with making it perfect when you're trying to listen to the left side of your brain. And I think that you can relate that as well to writing. I just wanted to give you guys a little update so that you knew where I was at. Yeah, I can't believe that I forgot a chapter. But now I have part of 2 chapters written, which usually I try to do like one chapter a day. I try not to give myself too much pressure for one day of writing just because it takes me quite a while, and I like to break up my writing sessions throughout the day. I'm so tired. I'm so tired and it's only 9:30. Carolyn, wake up. Anyway, I'm gonna keep writing chapter 26, and I'm having a lot of fun with the dialogue, and it's, what can I say without giving anything away? That rhymed. There are kind of 2 separate parts of my story where they have kind of 2 different voices, and I'm having a lot of fun writing in each different voice and how they kind of connect and combine. I'm having a lot of fun with, and I was saying before how there's a lot of like emotional tension throughout these chapters that I'm currently writing, and I'm getting to sort of like the last quarter of the book is where everything really comes to a head, and a lot is going to be resolved, which obviously is what the end is usually about and for. And what should happen at the end of a book is a resolution. And I'm just so incredibly excited that I'm getting to that point. And I just can't wait to see how all of the loose ends that I have created are going to come together and form into one thing. And I'm very excited and happy with it, and I'm just having a lot of fun. So yes, I'm going to get back to writing. This is my little update, and hopefully I'll finish chapter 26, like the new one, not chapter 27, the one that I started earlier today. I don't have too much of chapter 26, the new one, left. Something else that I do also is I usually, especially late at night when I'm not writing outside, I either have my phone opened. You guys saw that I was doing that earlier. I have my phone opened with one of my documents, so it's draft 0 that I was telling you guys about, and then I have draft 0 next to draft 1, what I'm working on. Right now I have draft 0 on my desktop, and then I'm writing draft 1 on my iPad. I'm so excited to write this scene. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope that you guys will be able to read it someday. I don't know when that day will be, but I'm just so excited. Okay. Also, another thing is, a lot of my writing is just me writing and then stopping and thinking and creating lines over and over and over in my head, and then writing them down and then deleting them and then thinking and then writing them down and deleting and thinking. So I feel like half of my writing process is just me staring at the page in my mind, going through all the different line possibilities in my head until I finalize on one and then write it down. Good morning, everyone. It is now the next day, and I finished writing chapter 26 last night, and then this morning I have been reading through it, and like I said, writing, tired, and editing when awake. And it's really a great process for me. It's nice to let those ideas go down on the paper and then go to sleep, let everything kind of soak into my brain, and then with fresh eyes and a fresh mind look back at it and fix it and tweak it, and I really like doing that. So I have finished chapter 26. first draft of chapter 26. There's going to be many rewrites, and then I do have the first half of chapter 27 written, so that is what I have done so far in the span of this video. So I started with 23,226 words. Now I have 24,921 words, so that means that I wrote 1,695 words, which I'm trying to not get too hung up on the word count, but I do think it's a really exciting thing to see evolve and to see that number grow, because like I was saying, I've never written a full novel before, and it's so exciting to just see that word count keep going up and up and up. But I'm not really trying to hit a certain goal of a certain word count. I'm gonna let the story tell me how long it needs to be. Typical middle grade novels are between 20 to 50,000 words, so I want to stay in that bracket, and I don't think that I will exceed that. I'm very happy with where I'm at and where I'm going. Right now, like I was saying, the part of the story that I'm writing is really an emotional climax, and I'm trying to make sure that my story just isn't too sad, because the part of the story that I'm at right now, it has to be emotionally complex for it to work, but I also don't want it to be too depressing, especially for a middle grade audience, but I don't think that we should emotionally dumb down books and stories so that they're less sorrowful for children, because I feel like so many middle grade stories are quite heartbreaking. I mean, the beginning of every Disney movie, there is like some tragic death, and so I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like children can handle a lot more than we realize, or they are a lot more emotionally intelligent than what we think. I don't know. I mean, I think kids are quite emotionally intelligent, but so that's why I've just been trying to ask myself, like, is this too much? I'm trying to do it in a soft way, like have sorrow but also have hope, and have that balance of what I think will make for an impactful story. And like I said earlier, I really want this book to be able to be read by all ages, not just for middle grade readers, and I do think that all ages will have some kind of emotional response to what's going on. That's my hope. I am incredibly biased because it is my words that I'm writing and that I'm speaking about. I just hope that I'm getting my message across in an emotionally impactful way without being too sad, with being also hopeful for an audience of all ages. That's where I'm at right now. So we'll see how it goes from here. I have quite a bit more to write. My personal deadline, I am not like, it's there, but it's okay if I don't meet it. If I go past it a little bit, that's fine. I do still have a lot of illustrating to do, like I said, but that is, I just want to have the manuscript, the first draft, really written, and then I can go in with a lot of illustrating. So I didn't illustrate in this video just because I wouldn't have been able to show you guys anything anyway. I think that is all that I want to share with you guys for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It was so exciting and fun to take you guys along on a day of writing with me, just because it's a very solitary act, and this story means so much to me that it's really wonderful to be able to talk about it and to share it with you in the very minor way that I'm able to share it with you. I can't really share too much, but it's really fun to just share the process with you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed listening. If you are also an aspiring writer, I would love to know what advice maybe you have for other aspiring writers, what advice you have for me, your process, what things have helped you. Even if you aren't an aspiring writer, if you like to write, I would love to know what kinds of stories you like to write, or if you don't like to write, what kind of stories you like to read. I just love talking to you guys in the comments. So thank you so much for being so kind and wonderful always, and all of your support truly, truly means the world to me. So thank you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day, reading some amazing books. If you are a writer, writing some lovely stories, I am wishing you all the best of luck in whatever endeavors you are embarking on. And I will see you soon in another video. Happy reading.